Welcome to Billy Ho Sports. Thank you for tuning in. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like and comment on the videos. I hope you enjoy the show. Now, let's go. Hello, Billy Ho here. Another video for the low key series. We're going to do quarterbacks for your DFS contest. These are some guys that I think might help give you some leverage. And for low key quarterbacks, we usually look on the cheaper side. These are guys, they might even be cash viable when it's all said and done. But I think in a lot of times in week one, especially, that people like to feel safe and they pay up for QB. They want that Mahomes. They want that Burrow. They want that Kyler Murray type of guy. Well, I'm going to give you some guys that I think could be every bit as good and maybe even better. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in it. All righty then. These are our main slate quarterbacks. Remember, all these videos are strictly main slate. There's no Thursday, no Monday. It's just the 13 games on Sunday. So you got 9 at 1 p.m. and then you got the 4 big marquee games. Well, at least 3 anyway. So we're going to get started. And of course, like I said, Herbert, Mahomes, Lamar, all the safe plays here. But then you've got Aaron Rodgers is my first low key guy. And of course, toward the end of the last season, he was consistent, but not throwing for a lot of yards. So, but he has capabilities. You can see he always has capability of a 4 touchdown game. He can get you 30 plus DraftKings points. He's the GOAT. He's the back-to-back MVPs. I'm not super high on him for this particular week, but I do think he's going overlooked. His wide receivers aren't popping off the board to anybody, and they appear like they're going to probably run the ball more and play defense. Their defense is really good. They boast one of the best secondaries in the NFL. So that can always help you. They got a great pass rush to go along with it. Now, the one thing A-Rod can do is manufacture DraftKings points. And the dude can dump off and catch an A.J. Dillon or an Aaron Jones coming into the end zone. Somebody's got to replace those 2-yard little out patterns that Devontae Adams ate up. So the two stud running backs, I think, are very serviceable pass catchers. He should be able to move the ball just fine. So he's the first low-key guy. Now, this one is maybe low-key, probably not. I'm going to go ahead and mention him anyway, Jalen Hurts, because I think he just became a lot more obvious to me, and he's probably going to be a cash game quarterback. But I have to eat the chalk as the next several QBs don't spark a lot of interest from me. So I just wanted to mention him real quick. Hurts has A.J. Brown now. He has Devonta Smith. He has Dallas Goedert. Maybe Miles Sanders sits week one. So they're not going to have quite the run game full strength. So he may throw a little more. So he's definitely on my radar. The next guy might or might not be low. I think he should be low key. Kirk Cousins. I just said Green Bay has a very stiff secondary. So he might not be somebody you want to look too hard at. I think Green Bay is more vulnerable to the run. So I kind of almost like Dalvin Cook in that game. But Cousins is a gamer, especially in those 1 p.m. games. I mean, he usually starts off the season pretty solid. As you can see, he had 3 straight 25-plus games, and he had a 30-point game coming up here. But he's usually a good dude that gets out of the gate pretty fast. So I don't mind him at all. Down here is our next guy is going to be Mr. Derek Carr. I don't know if he's I'm going to call him low key. I mean, he's Derek Carr. I mean, the dude, he has a tendency to where he didn't have very many pass catchers and he didn't throw a whole lot in certain occasions, but he had some big games early in the season as well, three straight 25 plus. So this game has got shootout written all over it. They're going to be probably chasing points against the Chargers because, as I mentioned in a previous video, the Las Vegas secondary is a hair bit on the weak side. And plus, obviously, Devontae Adams and Darren Waller looks like he's going to be a go week one. Hunter Renfro, he's got a very, very solid cast of characters to throw to. So he is definitely in the low key range. And this dude right here, the next guy I'm going to mention, I think is very low key, pretty cheap, and that's the Tua Tags. I'm going to call him instead of going Tagovailoa. Tua Tags, 5,700. Got the new addition of Tyreek, home game against New England. New England did jack squat to improve their secondary. They brought back old ass, broke ass Malcolm Butler. So I really feel good about maybe Tua throwing down the field a little more this year. I think Tyreek can get quick slants on him and beat those corners to the end zone. Of course, Waddle is a question mark, but if that hamstring is good to go, I really like Tua because, like I said in the previous video, I mean, you can go Tua and you can go, Waddle and Tyreek, which is a hair bit expensive, but that's a good double game stack, and you can run it back with Damian Harris or whoever. So I do like him. And plus, Gasecki's always a serviceable pass catcher. He might actually be more traditional tight end role this year, blocking and stuff. But obviously, Chase Edmonds is an explosive pass catching running back. So I feel pretty good about Tua's chances at having a good day. Now, next guy up is pure game theory. So we're going to slide on down. Whoops, we need to get back over to quarterback. And it's Matt Ryan. If you don't think that Taylor gets all the touchdowns because they're slated for like 24, 26, they're going to score at least 3 touchdowns, probably 4, maybe even 5. So if you don't think Taylor gets all those touchdowns, then you're crazy because it's almost impossible. What could happen and what happens a lot of times with these guys is they come out throwing or they take advantage of pass catchers and you see a Mo Alley Cox get one or you see a Naeem Hines catch a pass out of the backfield or you see like they're on the 2-yard line and Taylor didn't get it in on the first crack and then Matt Ryan play action fake. Mo Alley Cox comes out of the backfield, fake block, and now he's standing in the end zone wide open. And then before you blink an eye, Pittman gets one or Alec Pierce gets over the top. And then all of a sudden, Matt Ryan's got 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. And we've 10 minutes into the second quarter. So Matt Ryan is a guy who he has big games in the past. And he's had some real bad games with Atlanta. But he's got much more talent. So I think a good game stack, you can get Matt Ryan at 5,500, and then you can get a guy like Pittman, 5,500. That's cheap. And then, you got a simple Ryan Pittman game stack, or that's Tua. So sorry about that. But you know what I mean. Matt Ryan, plug him in just as easily. Matt Ryan, Mike Pittman. And then you got anybody you want on the Houston side to run them back. Obvious choice would be Brandon Cooks. And then you still got plenty of cap space because you've only spent 5,500 on your QB and 5,500 on a wide receiver. So you're looking good there. And staying in the same game, actually, this guy's going to be low key too. And I don't know why I feel like he's just going to be great. But Davis Mills, I mean, he's 5,300, and I just feel like they're going to be throwing a lot. I mean, he's throwing in the early 30s. He threw 49 times when they got blown out against Seattle. So if this is another blowout game where they got beat like 62-3 in 2 games last year. They got 31 burgers put up on them twice, shut out once, and only managed a field goal. I think they're a lot better this year. So I think they can score. I could see him throwing for 250 and 2 touchdowns. And, at 5,300, he's got 15 DraftKings points in him all day. He'd make for a slightly cash viable quarterback because he'd open up lots of space for you. So that's Davis Mills. The next one down, I don't know just yet if I'm going to roll the dice on him, but Daniel Jones at 5K going into a game he's not favored in, but it is a game where Tennessee, I think, is going to run the ball a lot, and he does tend to have a tendency to fumble. As you can see, it doesn't look as bad on paper, but he's got some fumbles here. I mean, that's 2, 4, 6, 7. You don't want your quarterbacks fumbling 10 times a year. So that's definitely a risk. But he could throw the ball around the yard a little bit if he gets Kadarius Toney back healthy enough, and he got a little Wandale action. He can always hit Saquon out of the backfield to get some extra yards after the catch to pad the stats. So he might be low key. It's 5K. You could do worse. People say good things about Danny Dimes. The last guy I wanted to mention, and this is a real shooter here, is Joe Flacco. 4,800. You can do anything you want. He's going to be the starter for the first couple of weeks. He's a veteran quarterback, obviously. He's got decent targets in Corey Davis and Elijah Moore. And then there's a rookie that's a speedster in a Garrett Wilson. And I also kind of like their tight end, CJ Uzoma, over from Cincinnati, who can contribute. Now, their opportunities might be limited because Baltimore runs a lot of plays. They run the ball a lot. They keep it on the ground. But then again, J.K. Dobbins might be a question mark. They may not be at full strength in their run game. So injuries can still happen. We all know that. And we'll have to see how things shake out. That's going to do it for this video. But if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please, Billy Ho Sports. I'm almost got 200 subs. If I could get 200 before week 1, that would be so great. I'd appreciate it so much. Pay it forward. Tell somebody to sub as well. Get a friend, even if they're not even interested in football, or your girlfriend's friends or your wife's friends, the book club. They all got YouTube accounts. They're just maybe not watching DFS football, but all they got to do is click the subscribe button. So until the next video, see you soon.